Hey folks, my name is Pravus, and welcome to Hex Guardian, a roguelike tower defense game where you build the map. Normally this kind of game isn't my cup of tea, but Hex Guardian is surprisingly fun and replayable. You'll see what I mean in just a bit. This game is developed by Split Second Games and published by Yogscast Games, who, by the way, I have observed seem to have a thing for hexes. Have you noticed that? I have. They're also the sponsors for today's video, and of course a very big thank you to them for that. You guys can find a link in the description down below if you would like to learn more. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and start up a new game. Now, there are several different biomes you can choose from, each of which do have their different modifiers, so it adds a bit of extra replayability in the game. Let's try playing in the Rockland. This can be a pretty fun map where you get to use the terrain to your advantage. Don't be deceived by the easy difficulty, by the way. The game can still be pretty hard, especially when you are first starting out, but it does get easier over time thanks to the roguelike aspects, which I will show off in a bit. Now, the way this game is going to work is there are several different entry points into your map represented by these little blue gates right here. This is where an enemy is capable of spawning in a wave, and that could be on a road or it could be on a river, but in any case, they're trying to get to your castle to do damage. If they can bring the health of your castle down to 0, you are going to lose the game. You get around that by spending your gold in order to place down towers and shoot them dead before they reach you. So here's an arrow tower. Now, one fun thing about this map, we could place in any of these little locations here, or I could place up on this plateau and increase the range of my tower, which is great because now I can actually cover 4 potential entry spots, which is great, plus the one that's immediately going to spawn here. So we'll just go ahead and place that. Then we're going to advance to nighttime so we can start shooting enemies as they spawn. It's a very easy game to get into, but you're going to find out pretty soon that it actually does get a little bit more difficult and strategic as time goes on. Now, I'm going to pause here because in addition to starting to get some extra gold for killing enemies, we are also getting a land tile. Land tiles are how you build out the map. If I click on this, we can see we are going to create some random hex over here. We can start using this in order to start modifying the terrain a bit, which could be kind of fun. So if I were to place one up over here, for example, I might be able to link up the river like this later on. But the reason you do this is it kind of pushes back the spawn locations for enemies, and if you build the map well, you'll be able to control the flow of the enemies and make sure you get as much time to do damage as possible. Ideally, you even are able to kind of cut off these little loops here and get rid of the spawn locations entirely, which makes it a lot easier to control where enemies can spawn and thus where you need to place down your towers. Not a bad way to go. I'm going to place this probably right over here so I can get a plateau next to these spawn locations. We did find a chest here. If we click on this, we get a bit of extra gold, which is not bad. At the beginning of day 2, I have a special perk where I get a blessing, which is a randomized benefit. Let's see, what do I want? Towers have a much higher rate of critical damage if they are built on a highland. Sure. Do more damage when the target HP is lower than 50%? Maybe. Allied melee units. I guess I'll take the critical rate. I should be using the Highlands as much as possible. And now we get to choose some cards with additional benefits. So we can unlock a new type of tower, or we can unlock some units that we can move around like mobile defense, or we can start generating some culture, which I'll talk about later. Let's get the fire tower for now. That's not a bad thing. And actually, the enemies are spawning where we already have a tower, so I really don't feel like I need to do anything else there. We're going to hold off on that and just start building out more of the map. Okay, I was kind of hoping we could start cutting off some of the rivers over here, but sure, this kind of connects things up. We created a bunch of different spawn locations, but they all funnel through the same area, so it's really not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and quickly advance to nighttime. These guys are going to spawn, but they're spearmen, so they're weak and should die pretty much immediately. Looking for anything else we could use here that's helpful. Sure, we could do something like this and try to cycle this around and create a loop. Also, we just placed down a couple of houses. These are passive gold generation. Obviously, we like that. The more gold you have, the more towers you can place, and that's just going to be good for you. Okay, so I'm sitting on a decent amount of money right now. We could upgrade our arrow towers a bit. I could get the observatory, or I could get a thunder tower to stun enemies. I'm not sure how much I like the stun. It could be good, maybe. Then again, we would like to start generating some culture. All 3 of these have their uses. Let's get the observatory. I want to place one of these down in a location where I'm able to start generating this culture. Now, what this is going to do is, just like the passive gold generation, it's going to get some culture which we can spend at the castle to get another blessing, just like you saw earlier. So it's going to cost 100, then 200, then 400, and so on. The more you generate, the faster you do this, the more you get some special benefits. It can be very nice. All right, enemies are going to be spawning off in this location. I guess I could place this here. It's not great. A location like this is probably a little bit better, but I'll do this for now. That's fine. Let's see if there's anything else I can do with the map. Well, this isn't quite going to be hooking up the way that I wanted it to, so I'm not sure I love this. All right, we're going to do this. We can probably connect these, and then we just have one spawn location instead of two later on. I guess at the end of the day, that's still a little bit better, right? Are we going to be able to deal with these guys without too many problems? I think so. It takes 2 shots each. We should be able to keep up. You can upgrade your towers, by the way. Spend some money, so this one will fire off 2 shots instead of only 1. Now, the problem is you have to be wary. Every tower I place down increases the costs for all future towers. So you're only ever going to get so many unless your economy is absolutely phenomenal. The same thing is true with upgrades. Every time I get an upgrade, it makes all the other upgrades more expensive later too, so you've got to be very, very deliberate about that. Oh, look, we can actually cut these off over here. Perfect, exactly like I was saying we were going to. Wow, that was a lot of gold from a chest, thank you. All right, let's see. Choose a card. Increase the attack speed, or we can make the observatories better. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and generate a lot more culture, though I do like the attack speed. Okay, lots of enemies coming through this direction, so now we know we want to kind of fortify here for sure. We are going to do an arrow tower here, and then maybe a fire tower as well. That should be fine. Fire towers, of course, are going to set enemies on fire and do a little bit of damage over time. Also, we could upgrade this so it bounces to multiple enemies, which I will do so we get more value. The more people affected by fire, the more they're going to burn for me. Let's also place down another observatory. How about one, I don't care, right over here, somewhere not on a highland where I'm going to be using that for towers later on. And I think we're still okay with what we're looking at right here. If I have to, we could upgrade another tower. And maybe we want to do that. Let's go ahead and fire off 2 additional shots here so we can kill off enemies faster and make sure that nothing gets through, which this should be fine. Okay, at the beginning of day 5, I get another blessing. That's another perk for me. Allies deal extra damage based on distance? Maybe. Thrive in adversity. Physical damage is increased whenever the castle is lower than 30 health left. Or melee units. Well, maybe long shot is good. It means I want to go for a lot of range upgrades. I think this is something that's only going to come in when I start losing the game, but it's going to buy me a lot more time, so we'll do that. Wow, increased range by 50% for a fire tower. Absolutely. These are a lot better than they were before. Holy crud. Okay, so we'll go ahead and place one up over here. We got some more boats coming through. They'll be fine. Cavalry scare me because they are fast, and that can become an issue very rapidly. Oh, here's a fun thing. Look at this. We can cut off the spawn location. Bye-bye. No boats coming through. We get all the rewards as if we killed all of them. Hooray! That's the sort of thing you are trying to do in this game if you can. Oh my gosh, we can cut these off too. Perfect. All right. So now we have no risk of rivers over in this area. We only have to worry about one long road. If I can find a way to cut this off, I'll never have to worry about enemies coming from this side of the map ever again. I can focus exclusively over here. That is the dream. It may not happen, but if we could, it'd be amazing. So let's go ahead and speed forward again, waiting for the cavalry to come through. They're pretty tough. At some point, your enemies are going to have armor and stuff as well, which increases their survivability. You will lose the game eventually. Like, it's pretty much a guarantee your enemies will become way too powerful, even if the stars align. But the randomness in this game does mean that there's something kind of fun about not knowing what you're going to get, and it can be kind of cool. Do you want to have a chance of igniting the ground with fire towers? Absolutely I do. That sounds pretty awesome. Thank you. Really close to cutting off these rivers over here, by the way. Oh my gosh, we just did. Haha, okay. So no longer do we have to worry about any boats coming down this direction either. All right. So that leaves one river here and one road here and then one road over here. If we can fix all of that, we are set and ready to go. 50% more damage on arrow towers. Absolutely. That's very lucky for me. I will take it. 0 complaints on my end, please and thanking you. And by the way, since we have over 100 culture, let's go ahead and pray for a blessing. Cultural buildings produce more. Towers attack rage increased by 20%. My gosh, yes, please, and thank you. I wish I had taken the long sight for our, or the long shot for our earlier perk and make these guys even better. But yeah, why not? Just extra range on all towers just means more coverage, more DPS going out. That's just phenomenal for me. I'm going to go over here and start upgrading this tower here so it fires off a few extra shots, and I'm going to go ahead and do that with a fire tower as well so it bounces and gets more damage out that way. But so far, this is going very, very well. What else do we have here? We can keep building out the river a little bit. I guess it kind of has to go off this way, doesn't it? So let's go ahead and do that. Thank you. Now, don't think that your goal is to actually completely remove all spawn locations. I'm not going to say that can't be done, but as far as I know, it cannot. Do we want to increase our attack speed, get a catapult, or do we want to get more culture? I probably do want to unlock another catapult, actually. Let's go ahead and do this. Get another tower type. Anyway, I don't know if you can cut all of them off. I do know if there are not enough spawn locations, your enemies are going to enrage. And then they start doing a lot of damage. They become extremely dangerous, so be very wary of that. I guess I could place down the catapult right here. It's a good spot for it. Sure, why not? I'm kind of surprised I haven't unlocked a lot of things that I would consider to be kind of like staple buildings, like an ice tower to slow down enemies. I haven't even unlocked any buildings that would spawn some units on my side. We probably will have a chance to see some of them later on. Let's not worry about it too much, though. When things are looking good, don't complain, right? Ah, there's the ice tower. Ooh. Arrow towers toxifying the ground is so good, though. This creates poison on the ground when we shoot our arrows sometimes, which combos with the fire to explode. That's pretty good and hard to pass up. I wanted to slow down enemies, but that's too good to say no. I'm sorry. It has to be done. Okay, speeding forward a bit more. More catapults are down. We got a bunch of cavalry spawning over here, but again, you should see some explosions happening over here thanks to the fire with the toxicity. We now have boats and enemies coming through this way, by the way. This is where the game starts getting a little bit tougher because all of a sudden, they're like, hey, you know, let's just go ahead and attack you from 3 directions at once. We just cut off this spawn, so that does restrict it. So now there's one river, one road, and one road. I know where the enemies are going to spawn every single time. The problem is, oop, and some enemies are starting to get through. Uh-oh. The problem is I'm starting to get to a point where they're so spread out, I really need to cut one of these off, like this one right here. If I want to have a chance at surviving here, I need to make sure that we do that. So we'll place down some stuff, and hopefully we can get a loop-de-loop and actually cut this area off. Yeah, we took a lot of damage there, actually. Holy crud. I thought we were doing really well for ourselves, but all of a sudden, not so much. The Mausoleum of Mausolus. Okay, this is a wonder. We can spend some money in order to place this down. It's going to produce some money whenever an enemy dies of area of effect. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and pick this up. Sure. Do I have 300 gold? Not yet, but eventually we might. I just need a little bit more culture and we can go for another blessing over here. I do want to do that. Just got to wait for a couple more seconds and pick it up. What do we get? Houses produce more gold. I mean, that can be nice. Range units, we don't have any of this, and I don't even have any production buildings, so we have to go for this. All right. Passive gold generation goes up at least a little bit. That's nice. It's not enough, but it's nice. Let's place down that mausoleum. So we have a nice long radius like this, something over here. I'm going to place it in this area. I think this is going to cover a lot of ground. And hopefully it starts generating me some extra cash. We can see it's having some sort of an impact. I think that fire counts for the area of impact. So this is just going to boost up my gold income by a fair bit. And the enemies are still spawning in pretty hard and heavy over here. I can't quite get these to cut off. We're so close to getting this cut off, though. I want to so badly. Our chances of success go up dramatically if I can get rid of this last little area right here so everything spawns from one direction. We'll see if I get lucky. No, not lucky. Not yet. Ah! Ice towers, slow down enemies. Yeah, we do want to have that. That's going to make things a little bit easier. Hold on, let's go ahead and place one over here and then upgrade it so it bounces and slows lots of enemies down. Same thing needs to be true over here. Same thing needs to be true over, we'll say over here. They do damage as well, which is nice, but the more I can slow down some enemies, probably the better. So we'll have that bounce, and then once I get 200 gold, we'll have this bounce as well. All right, nothing else for it. Let's go ahead and speed up. We'll see how long we can last. On easy difficulty, it's not unusual to survive for only like 7 or 8 days. Of course, as you get better and start unlocking more perks, you'll probably increase your odds of surviving until like 12, 14 plus days, right? I mean, that is the dream. Oh, and now we have some special enemies. All right, we have flying airships. Now, these guys you always have to be worried about because they don't follow any roads. They'll spawn and then go straight to your castle, which means they can bypass a lot of your defenses. That is something you'll have to start thinking about and making sure that you are intentionally building the map in a direction where even if these airships spawn, you're still fine. Now, the good news is they're relatively weak. So my fire towers are doing a great job of shooting them out of the sky. Still doing good on these knights. The ships are the ones that scare me the most right now because of all the armor they've got. That's working pretty poorly for me. We can cut it off! All right, we've actually stopped all ships from spawning. That's great. That means I can now go through here, and we can sell these towers to get 80% of the value back. Now I have to focus just on these 2 roads. Okay. That's very, very good for us. Increased range, critical hit damage. Let's just go for more damage on the arrow towers in general. Okay, we're going to have a lot of enemies starting to spawn. Now, one problem is these roads are now going to get swarmed with so many enemies, I'm going to get overwhelmed very quickly. This is where having things like catapults can be nice, because it means we can do some splash damage against them, and hopefully that adds up at least a little bit. I'm not feeling very hopeful, though, and only 17 knights. I feel like that's going to be fine, because I've got more slowing down ice towers and fire towers, so they'll be very weak by the time that they even reach any of my arrows in the first place. Yeah, this is going completely fine. Oh my god, we can cut these off too. Holy crap. Alright, I've never experienced the Enrage Mechanic in this game yet, but we've now eliminated all possibilities for enemies to spawn on this side of the map too. So I'm going to have to destroy every single tower I've already got and try to rework this area. Okay, we'll do this. I want to find a way to close this off. I don't know that it can be done. This is a new experience for me, but if we can find a way, that would be phenomenal. Let's go ahead and start selling all these unnecessary towers. I'm about to start rolling in money. Okay, so that clears everything out over here. All right. So, more ice towers to slow things down. Keep them as slow as possible for as long as possible. So we'll do something there. Plus, we'll get some arrows set up that way. Plus, more along here. We could get some more fire and stuff. More ice can go down over in here, I guess. It doesn't matter too much. Alrighty, and I'm still seeing on 3,000 gold. Good God. Yeah, I have no idea. I've never experienced this before. Never once. This is amazing. Alright, that takes care of pretty much all my money for the moment. We could boost up range. No. Extra damage to armor. Absolutely, that'd be great for us. Lighthouse. More culture. More damage, more range. Ooh, boy. I'm going to go for the extra damage. That should be fine. We're up to day 15. This is a personal best right now. Looking good. And only 2 locations for enemies to spawn, so I'm expecting some very enraged enemies. Yeah, actually, I can see right here, Enrage level 4. It increases their HP and armor by 80%. They need 4 portals, but only 2 are available. Yeah, technically speaking, it would be better for me to actually start creating some openings over here, and they'll all funnel down the same road, but at least they're not as strong. Oh, boy. Well, for that, we're entirely luck dependent on what tiles we draw, because if I don't get something that branches off new potential spawn locations, this is what's going to happen. So even with my wall of death, look how strong these guys are right now. They are surviving like crazy. This is the kind of thing you don't like to see, huh? Yeah, I thought so. Let's go ahead and have some bouncing effects of stuff, you know, and just set more on fire and slow more of them down and stuff. Get as much time as possible. We are in trouble all of a sudden. The Enrage Mechanic might get me killed. What else we have here? Hui Tiakali. Increase the attack of towers besides row within the area of effect. Yes, please. Yes. Place the wonder like right here. Extra damage for everything. Go. Kill them quickly, please. Oh, we're taking some damage. We're going to take a bit of damage, but we're trying, boys. We're trying. Oh, gosh, that was close. Okay. Yeah, we can't take more hits like that. But they didn't drop enough tiles. I can't actually get them more spawn locations. This is only going to get worse. We can get a blessing. Let's try one more over here. Long shot. Oh my gosh, I was hoping for that. Or allies deal more damage to enemies with armor. Oh, but that's also really good for us right now. Everything's going to have armor. But this just means more damage. But this is good. But this is good. Let's go for the armor penetration. Burn down their armor really, really fast, please. We'll see how much difference that actually ends up making. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of enemies with armor, so I figure this has to be somewhat good, right? Either way, though, that still went a lot better, so I think we made the right call. Damage increased by 50% on ice towers. Yes! Okay, any additional upgrades we want to get? Sure, fire extra arrows from the arrow tower there. Fire extra arrows over there. I don't know. Anything to get me a little bit of extra DPS. Okay, we have airships that are going to spawn. These guys are weak. I think we can survive another round. Let's see what's going to happen. These guys spawn as well and instantly explode thanks to my fire towers and stuff, I think. Yes, good. Okay, this should be an easy round for us. Okay, another card. Increase attack speed so we slow things down more. Yes. If I can get up to 600 culture, we can go for another card. I was not expecting any of this. Okay, we did get a road, but this isn't what I was shooting for. So this doesn't actually do me a lot of good, except for the ability to place down another couple of towers over here just to do a little bit of extra damage as they come out of the gate. Welcome to the world! Now burn for me! I am the Hex Guardian, guardian of the hexes. My enemies quiver before me! Frick off! I've really never experienced this before, though, seriously. We got very lucky being able to cut as much of this off as we did. But it goes to show that intentionally placing down your hexes with some strategery and kind of play the odds can actually work out really nicely for you eventually. If you're lucky. That definitely made it a lot easier for us. Libraries, catapult, more tower. You know what? Let's get some axemen. Okay, sure, we'll get the axemen, and also I can increase the odds of getting a dodge with them. So the way that this works, since I really wanted to show you guys some basic units, we can go ahead and place these guys down here. Units are mobile. We can go ahead and set a rally point, and these guys are going to spawn, and they are going to intercept enemies and attack them. So let's say we want to fight on top of this bridge right here. They will do so, and probably die in the process, but they'll respawn, it's fine. Normally you want to get some archers, some mages, etc. Set them off of the road, just off here so they don't get attacked and do a little bit of extra damage, but it's nice, kind of like a tower in that you can reposition them in certain circumstances, right? That's kind of what I'm going for. Oh my god, no! No! Wait a minute! The one time you give me roads, and you're actually going to make the enraging problem worse! Oh, we're down to 1 gate now. 1 gate. Enrage goes up by 5. All right. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. I can't even place this anywhere. It's fine. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's still technically easier. I'm cutting down the number of enemies that can spawn by half. So even though I'm getting these guys with 20% more damage, this actually should make things even easier, right? Am I breaking the game? Am I making this easier? Good God. I'm going to make it well past day 20. This is the best run I've ever had. Bar none. Easily. Let's go ahead and increase the damage of my axemen. I don't really care. Hey, we can get ourselves another blessing. Let's do it. Stellar Brilliance. Final score increased. Ooh. Enemies convert some of their HP to armor. I'm very good at burning through armor, so this actually is a good thing for me. This would be like an extra 50% damage for me. Yes, we're doing armor transmute. Normally I'd be scared if they have armor, but I melt through it. This is perfect. Oh god, however the Enrage just jumped up to 13 because there should be 5 portals. 260% extra HP and armor? Okay, these guys are going to be really tough. But again, I'm converting their HP to armor, so I'm still stacking up the modifiers in my favor. We've still got this! They're really fast, though. It's almost like they're immune to my ice towers. I was really expecting to have to do, like, 2 runs in this video, but I'm starting to think that this 1 run might actually be enough. Not normally how the game is played. Is this actually a fair representation? Is this even a good video? I don't know. We're going to find out. It's fine. Yeah, fine. Devs, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I hope this isn't in any way sort of breaking your game. I'm just sort of having the godlike run right now. And I was just saying that easy difficulty is still kind of hard. I just got super duper lucky. Normally I'm getting attacked by so many areas, I can't afford to concentrate all my firepower in one area. Imagine I had 3 waves kind of like this, but I had to spread out all my towers. I'd be dead. That's how the game's supposed to work. Ice tower, chance to freeze them into the ground like a stun. Yes! Now they're setting just basic spearmen. These guys are supposed to be super duper fragile, and look how tanky they are. Oh no. Like I said, the game is easy to get into, alright? This is not very complicated as far as an idea goes. But we seem to have managed to find a perfect seam where we're actually able to do some pretty cool stuff. I wasn't expecting that, but I am happy about it. Uh-oh, but this might be it. I feel like I'm not getting enough through. Oh, no, that's it. That's going to be it. All right, boom, boom, and we are going to die now. 13 enrages up to day 25, and that takes me down. Okay, all right. So what I was going to show you, and I thought I would show this a lot sooner, is when you finish a run, you get a score. And based on that score, you're going to get something here for some talent points. And the more difficult the map is, the more of these points you're going to get. This is the currency you're going to use in order to make future runs a little bit easier. So if I then go to the talents over here, we can see there are a lot of different things that we can unlock. Some of which are going to, let's say, unlock new types of units and towers. Some of which are new wonders or production buildings that change up the game. Other things are like simple, like spell cooldown reduction, or maybe we get an extra blessing, or our units are a little bit stronger and they can heal each other, etc., etc. So for example, would I like to buy the Petra Wonder and then increase the range of all of my towers by 20%? Absolutely. Now, sometimes you're going to have some things here that you don't want. Like maybe I didn't want to have any, let's say these axemen. I don't even want to have these axemen. I can hit the lock button here. And as you continue unlocking more things, you can lock certain things down so they don't appear in your game, right? that can be kind of useful, something you want to kind of pay attention to if you want to optimize your build and increase the odds that you get the right cards. But the point being, the more you play, the more talent points you get, and the more you kind of continue ranking up and getting stronger so you can take on harder and harder challenges. And that's where the roguelike side of things starts coming into play. So maybe I want to do like one more quick round. Let's go to the desert on a harder difficulty for the heck of it. Wait, what is this? The queen is arriving on day 10. The queen is highly resistant to elemental attacks, so you have to use physical attacks. Her dodging ability grows. Okay, sure. So we're going to have a boss to worry about in 10 days. Yay! Now on this map, there's going to be like some oases and stuff. We also get a special spell here called Sandstorm, where you can damage all units. Including my own, by the way. So if we want to go for a tower-only defense, that's ideal in the desert. Ooh, Blazing Sandstorm. Damage converted into a burning damage skill. Oh, heck yes. That sounds like a lot of fun. Gimme. Oh my gosh, I was able to do it again. Hold on. Let's get things to the fire tower. I cut off all these roads over here, which means everything now comes from this side of the map. Still plenty of ways for enemies to attack me via some rivers, but I'm very close to cutting this off. In which case, it will be, once again, only one road able to attack me. Oh my gosh, am I going to do this again? This is ridiculous. Hang on. Oh my gosh, I am. All right, say goodbye to all your boat spawns. Land only. I swear this isn't supposed to happen this often. I'm not sure how I'm doing this. I'm getting really lucky, even on hard difficulty here. Of course, I'm enraged already. Right. I didn't really think about that. Yes, we would be enraged now, wouldn't we? Absolutely. All right, looks like the queen is going to be attacking me at enrage level 7 because we needed 3 portals. I obviously don't have that. So her dodge rate is going to be pretty high. That's scary. Let's go ahead and try hitting her with a sandstorm and setting her on fire. Yep, you can see her dodge rate growing up for... Okay, I think she's going to be able to get to us. The question is, how much damage does she do? Yeah, there's no way we're going to be able to take her down. She's way too dodgy. Oh, wow, that did a lot of damage. All right, 20 damage from for our castle, just like that. Thank you. Yeah, this isn't going to go anywhere near as well, simply because the Enrage is working very heavily against me here, for sure. Oh my god, finally, we got something that's actually going to help split this up. Okay, I think we might be able to reset the Enrage encounter, but it might be too little too late. No! I think we're dead. I think that was it. Oh my god, 1 HP. 1 HP! All right, that's a lot of enemies. Let's see if this ends up being a lot more manageable after all. If only we had a lot more area of effect damage, I could see this being very, very helpful. We don't have an absolute ton, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm not sure this actually improved things enough for us, to be honest. Getting rid of the Enrage sounded like a good idea, but we now have so many enemies, I'm not sure that I can survive against them. And we just need 1 to get through, and that's the end of that. All right. Well, 16 days on hard difficulty. Hey, that was still pretty decent for us. And I wanted a quick run anyway, so there we go. Now I have a few more points I can spend, I can get some more upgrades unlocked, and so on. Like I said, this game is designed with a lot of replayability in mind. It's not just a bunch of set-in-stone levels you have to figure out the optimal placement for, and then you just go for that. No, you actually have to react to the terrain and try to build the world intelligently and react to that, in addition to the randomization of all the cards you're going to get, and so on. It's a pretty fun idea for a game. Honestly, one of the more engaging tower defense games I played in a while, so that's pretty awesome. Again, a very big thank you to Yogscast Games for sponsoring today's video. Very much appreciated. If you guys would like to learn more about Hex Guardian, there will be that link in the description down below, and I'd encourage you to go click on that. Otherwise, I would also encourage you to click the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.